Hello everyone, welcome back to Iron Shield Media. Today we are bringing you a deep dive into a story that could reshape global geopolitics. We're looking at how Vladimir Putin, the longtime face of Russian power, finds himself confronted not from outside, but from within. 4 breaking news stories each reveal a different dimension of internal betrayal, internal cracking, internal collapse. We will walk you through these stories, explain what they mean, and why the world should sit up and take notice. We begin with a look at the exterior, the facade of power that Putin has built over the years. The massive walls of the Kremlin, the grand parades, the disciplined troops, the public displays of strength. But behind that facade, something shifting. The first breaking story illustrates that clearly. In the southern Russian region near Rostov-on-Don, the Wagner Group, once loyal mercenaries, mounted an armed mutiny. They marched toward Moscow. They challenged the military hierarchy. They forced a negotiated retreat. Putin himself labeled the move a stab in the back. The Guardian Bloody One, this is not just a military hiccup. It's a signal that the center cannot always control the periphery. The image of disciplined Russian might is cracking. That's the first key betrayal from within the armed forces, from inside the structure that was supposed to ensure loyalty. Moving to the interior. Briefly now, inside the corridors of power, in the rooms where decisions are made, the atmosphere has changed. Officials who once bowed to Putin seem cautious. Whispers surround offices. Fear replaces certainty. A sense of instability is growing. This interior betrayal is subtle but powerful. The Kremlin is still the seat of power, but the undercurrents are turning against the monolithic image of unwavering loyalty. Now, performance. How is Russia performing? On the battlefield, the performance of the Russian war machine has fallen short. Tanks abandoned, supply lines faltering, morale dropping. Ukrainian advances, sanctions biting, internal sabotage, these all point to the second major story. The machinery meant to project strength is showing vulnerability. That vulnerability invites betrayal if you cannot deliver victory. You invite challenge. One sign Kremlin public messaging now speaks of unity and internal threats almost as much as it speaks of the external enemy. Al Jazeera Luxuan, the performance of the regime is no longer pristine. Safety features. Traditionally, the structure of the Russian state under Putin had built in safety features, a loyal security services apparatus, tight control of media elite networks and propaganda. But now cracks are appearing in those protective layers. High-level corruption scandals leak out. Elites feel emboldened. Some begin hedging their bets. The third story, corruption and betrayal among the inner circle. Reports going back years trace billions of dollars siphoned from war spending, high-level friends turning private fortunes or being turned into liabilities. Wikipedia, the safety net of loyalty, is fraying when money and personal survival become more important than the cause. The structure becomes brittle. Unique selling points. Why does this story matter? First, because history tells us that when a state is betrayed from within, when its own elite, its own military, its own media turn against the center, the outcome is unpredictable and often rapid collapse. Second, because the scope here is global. Russia remains a nuclear power, a major actor in world affairs, and a destabilized Russia affects global security, energy markets, alliances, and war zones. Third, because we are getting near real-time glimpses of events that previously would have been hidden. The Wagner mutiny, elite defection, war machine setbacks. For you, the viewer, we provide a lens into how the largest controlled state might be losing its control. The fourth story that ties together all these threads is this: the power struggle for succession or redemption inside Russia. Putin might still be king, but the court around him is divided. Some see alternative paths, some are hedging bets, some quietly dissent. When the king's inner circle is no longer unified, the throne becomes vulnerable. Price. Let's talk cost, not in dollars, but in human, political, and global currency. For Russia, internal betrayal costs unity of state, legitimacy of leadership, cohesion of society, effectiveness of armed forces. For Putin, it costs reputation, power, possibly safety. For the world, it costs predictability. Allies and adversaries of Russia will find their calculations disrupted. If Russia stumbles internally, new conflicts can open, nuclear escalation risks creep, alliances shift. The price of this internal betrayal is high. If Russia had been priced at stability, now the market sees risk, and in sheer human costs, soldiers, civilians, families bear the fallout of mismanagement, betrayal, and internal chaos. Conclusion. Let's wrap this up. We have traced four major stories: the mutiny of the Wagner Group and its challenge to central authority, the failure of the war machine and the performance breakdown, the corruption and elite betrayal inside Putin's circle, and the broader power struggle for the future of Russian leadership. While on the surface the Kremlin still radiates strength, the signs are unmistakable internal cracks. These cracks make betrayal possible, even probable. Vladimir Putin cannot afford to ignore them. The question now is, can he contain them? Or will they multiply and lead to a tipping point? For viewers, the takeaway is this: do not view Russia as a monolith unaffected by internal dynamics. The external war with Ukraine is only part of the story. The more dangerous story may be what is happening inside. The betrayals inside could reshape Russia's trajectory, change global alignments, and open new chapters of instability. So stay alert, stay aware, and stay tuned to our channel for updates. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share it with friends who follow global affairs. Let us know in the comments what you think, which of these four stories matters most. Which one do you believe will have the biggest impact? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.